it almost goes without saying that somebody like me, you know, I love and I'm inspired by history and stories from history. And that's not to say that I think all of it's been good. You know, we've got a past that is shades of the brightest light and the darkest dark. But that's what makes it. That's what makes it such a reservoir of wisdom and knowledge. You know, we've done the terrible things. That's the point. You know, we have waged war. We have done, you know, terrible things to people who were not in a position to resist us. Of course we have. But we have also been, you know, the place of enlightenment. You know, we have also given to the world, you know, extraordinary advances in technology, in medicine, in thought. You know, the very idea of democracy, you know, some of the earliest notions of democracy come from here. You know, concepts in Magna Carta, concepts in the, you know, in the Declaration of Arbroath, those ideas that your leaders, you know, in both Magna Carta and the Declaration of Arbroath in 1320, the letter that was sent to the Pope to support, you know, Robert the Bruce as an independent king, fundamental to that was the idea that they, if they're not good rulers, it's our responsibility as people to do something about that. I mean, the Declaration of Arbroath said simply that if Robert the Bruce is not a good king for us, we will have no compunction about getting him off the throne and replacing him with someone better. And Magna Carta, you know, prior to that, had already made it plain that that even the king was not above the law. Those are fundamental tenets. It's widely speculated that that there were the notions that were ideas that were preached in the 18th century in Glasgow University by Francis Hutcheson, who had the chair of moral philosophy, went across to the United States of America at the time of the Declaration of Independence. You know, he had preached that happiness was not some random manna from heaven that just landed accidentally on the lucky whoever. On the contrary, happiness would be the collateral benefit of giving every last ounce of your energy and commitment to making other people happy. Every last ounce of your effort committed to improving the lives of others. If you did that, he said, that would your payback would be happiness in making other people happy. And one of his students was Witherspoon, John Witherspoon, who went across to the United States of America to become the second president of what is Princeton University. He was one of the signatories of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. And it's widely speculated that the inclusion of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you know, is an export from 18th century Scottish thinking. So there are all these innumerable examples of ways in which our civilized thinking have been exported around the world and have improved the world for millions of people. Yeah, if I can just go on, lots of figures who are involved in all of those movements, you know, accepted norms that we would think were reprehensible, you know, up to and including what they thought about and how they behaved around the idea of human slavery. Now, we have understood and internalized long ago that human slavery is the darkest stain on our species. We know this. But to contemplate physically removing the figures who tell part of that story is only a mistake. By being visible in the public square, they are literally named and shamed. We see them and we know them. And if we understand their story, we understand the wider picture, we understand why they understood their world in the way that they did. And if you start removing and editing and erasing, you just leave an incomplete picture. It's like pages with some of the words redacted. You can't read it properly. And you need the sweary words and the bad bits alongside everything else in order fully to comprehend the picture of what they are apart. And that's why you don't edit the past. You want more history, not less.